I myself, the chairman, am happy. The commissioner is happy, hearing directly from his people, knowing the grievances, knowing the challenges that our people are facing.
Elated by the outcome of the session, the commissioner said the governor remains committed to bring the governors closer to the people, hence the initiative to engage them directly. She promised to make the gesture a continuous exercise, which according to her will make governance more effective, productive and result-oriented.
It's been explosive. We've been here for 4 hours discussing and making calls, trying to reach people to identify ways through which we can, meet their needs, and we've exactly been able to do this. I started with an engagement in my ward, because I believe charity begins at home, and now I've proceeded to the traditional council, and after the councils we'll be meeting different demographics within the local government, the women, the youth, and other strategic stakeholders, identifying what they need and then looking for ways through which Mr. Governor can quickly attend to those needs.
With engagements like this, traditional institutions are not only strengthened but also positioned as vital partners in driving grassroots development in Ondo State. Omoniola Humbiji, Osrc News.
As Nigeria intensifies efforts to boost food production while safeguarding the environment, scientists are turning to safer and more sustainable farming practices. At Federal University of Technology, Akure, a researcher has developed an organic fertilizer known as biofertilizer, made entirely from locally sourced materials to promote sustainable agriculture in Ondo State. Blessing of it report.
Nigeria continues to battle food shortages worsened by climate change, rising production costs, and poor soil fertility, while chemical fertilizers have helped farmers achieve higher yields for decades. Their long-term impact on soil health and the environment has become a major concern. In response, a microbiologist at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Dr. Olubukola Makinde, is leading the drive toward a greener alternative, biofertilizers. This natural microbe-based product enhance soil fertility, promote healthy plant growth, and reduce dependence on synthetic inputs.
Anything used for our local farmers in Nigeria and for food security should be indigenous. We shouldn't wait. If we say we want to help our people, then materials should be sourced locally. That was what brought me to biofertilizer research. And for the past 6 years now, we've been working seriously on effective and more competitive carriers compared to those in the market. And fortunately, we have gotten very good research, very good results, and better indigenous carriers.
Dr. Makinde explains the excessive use of chemical fertilizers causes soil degradation and water pollution, while biofertilizers restore soil nutrients, improve crop quality, and ensure environmental safety.
If you reduce or you mitigate the use of chemical and put in biofertilizer, yes, you are going to be increasing the soil health too. What you are doing with biofertilizer is to increase the living organisms. Then, if the living organisms are there, you are returning it back to its natural state, where the soil structure will be more compact. It will help with water retention. Water is not flowing anywhere. It will retain more water. Then you would also be able to contribute to environmental health too.
The Senior Special Assistant to the Ondo State Governor on Agriculture and Agribusiness, Rotimi Akinshola, describes the introduction of biofertilizers as a major step towards empowering local farmers, cutting production costs, and reducing Nigerians' reliance on imported agro inputs.
This is where you use degradables, leftovers, to actually turn them to fertilizer with some kind of chemical that she has made and she has got grant for. What is interesting in this is because your normal fertilizer that we buy, which are chemical based, this is more natural based and it's so effective. So with our cocoa farmers and our maize farmers and our palm farmers, we're putting all this in trial for the state farmers so that we will save money by going to buy the conventional fertilizer, where we can use this to actually help our farmers. We're bringing all the stakeholders together to actually discuss this now so that we know how to actually push it forward to the government for government enhancement to the project. This will actually help us from actually importing fertilizer or bringing fertilizer in from different parts of the country. We can actually do this here by our waste products and engaging the food as an institution and the state government to collaborate in giving our farmers the best fertilizer that we can produce in the state.
Akinshola noted that the state government is committed to encouraging farmers to adopt more sustainable farming methods that guarantee food security. With growing interest in biofertilizers and increasing government support, experts believe Nigeria could soon transition to a more productive and eco-friendly agricultural system, one that not only nourishes the soil but also secures the nation's future harvests. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria losses a staggering $10 billion, approximately 3.5 trillion naira annually, to post-harvest losses. Up to 50% of total harvest is lost due to poor storage facilities, inadequate transportation, and inefficient handling practices. As a result, farmers struggle to make ends meet. Millions go hungry, food insecurity deepens, and economic instability worsens. Osrc's Adewumi Taiwo reports.
Agriculture remains the bedrock of Nigeria's economy, providing livelihoods for over 70% of the population and contributing about 25% to the nation's gross domestic product. Despite its critical role, the sector grapples with multiple challenges, including low productivity, poor infrastructure, inadequate technology, poor soil health, and limited access to extension services. Food processing and post-harvest losses are the wastage and deterioration that occur during the handling, storage, processing, and distribution of farm produce from harvest to consumption. These losses may be physical or involve a decline in quality or nutritional value. Agricultural experts note that post-harvest loss is a complex problem that demands a multifaceted approach. They emphasize that investment in infrastructure, technology, and capacity building will significantly reduce losses and improve food security in Nigeria. Experts also urged farmers to make better use of available local solutions while calling on government and policymakers to provide training and resources that will improve post-harvest handling practices.
There are places where plantain, gets spoiled during this season. Why? Because they find it difficult to move it from their farms to the market. In the market, you know the amount. A bunch of plantain goes for as much as 4,000, 5,000 now. But there are farms in those states here where those things are getting spoiled as a result of the fact that there are no motorable roads and the means of transportation in the area are Okada. And these Okada people charge exorbitant prices to the extent that many farmers will believe that it is better they sell it cheaply, or sometimes they even leave it to rot away.
Most of these agricultural products are seasonal. We need to find a way to reduce the rate at which they go into that degradation. And that is where post-harvest technology comes in. Is a big problem in this part of the world, most especially in Nigeria, because most of the post-harvest technological methods require a lot of money, which makes them beyond the reach of farmers generally.
We have not really adopted technology into agricultural farming, most especially post-harvest processes and activities. For developed poets, some of the developed poets, they process their food on the farm. You don't necessarily have to bring them to the municipal or to the urban area to do processing. There are some primary processing that can be done. So some of these minor or little machines that we need to process on farm, adopting the the cutting-edge technology that is prevailing to convert some of this food from their raw form to a primarily processed form that can make handling easier are not being done.
Mr. Ayodeji Olayinka highlights the challenges farmers face in food processing and post-harvest management, exploring the causes, consequences, and possible solutions.
When we talk about post-harvesting loss, you see, the major problem that the farmer faces in post-harvesting losses as a result of, some of the crops that we are planting on the field, they stay so much on the field. Are you getting it? Why? Because farmers think there is no storage facility, so they tend to leave their crop on the farm. Government should try to provide storage facilities for the farmer. They should try to make funds available for the farmers to build adequate storage facilities.
Enhancing agricultural productivity in Nigeria requires a comprehensive strategy by integrating improved technology, irrigation, extension services, and strong policy support. By tackling these challenges and leveraging growth opportunities, Nigeria can increase crop yields, reduce losses, and promote sustainable agricultural practices. Achieving this will demand a collaborative effort between the government, private sector, and development partners, all working to support farmers and strengthen the nation's food systems. Adewumi Taiwo, Osrc News.
Residents and motorists plying in Joka Road in Akure, Ondo State capital, are appealing to the government to rehabilitate the deplorable portions along the route, which have made daily commuting stressful and unsafe. They acknowledge the ongoing road projects across the state capital, but are calling for equal attention to the Joka axis, which they describe long neglected. Blessing Obey reports.
Across Ondo State, several major roads have either been completed or are currently under construction, clear signs of the government's effort to enhance mobility and boost economic growth. In Akure, the dualization of the Akure to Idore Road is ongoing, while Oda Road has been completed, easing traffic congestion for commuters heading towards the city's outskirts. In the Northern Senatorial District, the rehabilitation of Ikare Township roads is giving the ancient town a facelift, while in the coastal region, construction continues along the Igbokoda axis to improve access and open up riverine communities. However, residents of Ijoka say the development story is incomplete without attention to their own road, which remains in a deplorable state despite its strategic importance. This is Ijoka Road, one of the busiest routes within Akure metropolis, now riddled with potholes, dust, and stagnant water. Motorists, commuters, and residents say what used to be a major access route has become a nightmare, with its worsening condition affecting movement, business, and health. During the rainy season, the situation becomes even more challenging as several sections of the road turn muddy and almost impassable. Ijoka Road connects many communities including Abushoro, Igisogba, and Okeya, serving as a crucial link between inner parts of Akure and adjoining settlements. Although construction work began under the previous administration and continued briefly into the current one, the project has since been abandoned with equipment left idle.
What you see behind me is the daily reality for countless commuters and motorists who plow this road. Each day, they navigate through thick clouds of dust, inhaling these particles that pose health risks to their lives and also affecting their business. And what you see just by the roadside lies the equipment used for road construction. This has been abandoned for long, and now it is covered with dust, leaving many residents wondering what may be happening.
Residents say contractors have not been seen on site for months, leaving them to contend daily with dust, potholes and deep craters. They are appealing to the government to accord Ijoka Road the same priority as other major projects across the state. Commuters and commercial drivers say the poor condition of the road has forced many taxi operators off the route, leaving tricycles and motorcycles as the main means of transportation. They are calling on the government to urgently revisit and complete the Ijoka Road project to ease movement, boost economic activity, and bring relief to residents.
This road has been awarded from the past governments. Since then, the work is just slow down, and we that are living around this place, we are feeling the badly, especially the business and everybody. If you are going now, enter Marua or Okada, it's a lot of up and down.
yàtọ̀ sí pé àárín lórí títì gbogbo aṣọ tó wà nínú yàrá ló ti bàjẹ́ kán jọ kọ́kọ́ ló tọ́ lọ́hùn pẹ̀lú wa tó bá dìgbà òjò réètì tọ́kadà fi bárúwá fi ṣubú bí ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ èèyàn wá fi wá pé kóun fẹsẹ̀ rìn gan pé kóun kú márúwá pé kóun gbọ̀ kadà.
ọ̀nà yìí ló wá láti high court so wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ṣe láti high court òun náà ló lọ sí dànrè so wọ́n ti ṣe parí sí dànrè wọ́n ti ṣe parí sí high court but wọ́n kàn wá sọ wá sáàárín so àwọn èèyàn wá yìn májì pé kí ló lè cause it.
For the people of Ijoka, fixing their road will not only bring much needed relief but also reaffirm the government's commitment to balanced and inclusive development across Akure and beyond. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
After 2 years of uninterrupted peace in Nigerian universities, members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, have embarked on a 2-week warning strike. If left without the necessary attention, this development may further endanger the education standard of the country. Omoni Olaunbeji samples the opinions of Nigerians on the best way to handle the situation. Her report.
For the past 2 years, Nigeria's universities had not experienced industrial action, ensuring stability in academic calendars and giving students the hope of completing their studies on time. Apprehension has, however, resurfaced as the union launched another strike, reminding the federal government of unresolved issues which, according to ASU, are in the interest of the general public. Between 2017 and now, the federal government has instituted 4 renegotiation teams to resolve ASU's demands. Wali Babalakin led team in 2017, Professor Muzali Dubril in 2020, Nimi Briggs in 2021-2022, and most recently, the Dr. Mahmoud Ahmed led team inaugurated by President Bola Tinubu. Now that Nigerian students had believed the era of uncertainty in the academic system was over, ASU's latest action has revived concerns as the union insists it remains the only effective means to get the government attention. Nigerians at home and in diaspora have been reacting.
We are not happy with the way things is going on, and we want to employ the academic staff and the federal government to reach the conclusion before it will cause more damages. If possible, to have fresh negotiation with academic staff in order not to jeopardize the future of a student in school. So both academic staff and the federal government need to consider the life of innocent citizens, the future of innocent citizens, and the parents who are working day and night to make sure their children are being educated. So they should not do anything that will jeopardize this effort.
We have to go back to the drawing board. Our education managers, they should be able to at least let people know the reforms. They understand all these reforms better. When they understand these reforms better, they will be able to at least align with government's plans for them. That's one. Then when they promise these workers and students, let them meet up with their promises. If they meet up with their promises, I think people will be able to at least understand what we are going on, what we are going through now, and they'll be able to at least align with it.
Speaking on ASUU strike, which stems from the 2009 agreement with the federal government, public commentator Dotun Ojon emphasized that agreements should be implemented to the letter.
If there's a problem that led to the 2009 agreement, the question should be, have we as a nation adequately addressed the concerns that led to the agreement? So if the answer is no, I think it's even an indictment on every one of us that an agreement that was signed in 2009 up to today, about 16 years later, we are still struggling with the letters of the agreement. So it's not a right or wrong situation. It's just a situation that calls for sober reflection on the part of everyone that is involved with our education system. So once there's an agreement, they say it. They say agreement is an agreement.
However, chairman of the union at Federal University of Technology, Akure, Dr. Pius Mogaji insisted on a no-pay, no-work stance, adding that the union had taken all necessary steps before resorting to the strike.
We believe that for the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Tunde Alausa, to issue a directive to all the Vice Chancellor of Federal Universities to effect the clause of no work, no pay, we felt it is unacceptable to us as a union. We felt that the Honorable Minister of Education was not well informed and well advised. Because for you to say you want to stop our salary, it means that we must have committed illegality. And as far as ASUU is concerned, we have followed due process in declaring a trade dispute between us and federal government. By doing what? By, first of all, taking a referendum from all our branches. Not that one alone, by giving the federal government 14-day ultimatum as stipulated and stated in international labor law. And aside from that, what we are doing is just a 2 weeks warning strike, just to give the federal government ambient opportunity for them to be able to address all the issues that we have raised before them. And if they say no work, no pay, then we too will say no pay, no work.
As at the time of filing this report, at least 16 universities across the country had joined the 2-week warning strike by ASUU following its renewed face-off with the federal government over unfulfilled agreements. The strike, which commenced on Sunday, October 13, 2025, has grounded academic activities nationwide, marking yet another chapter in the long-standing struggle between Nigerian lecturers and the government. Omoriola Humbeji, Osrc News.
In the meantime, against the backdrop of ongoing strike by members of Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, the federal government has restated its resolve to enforce no work, no pay policy, warning that lecturers who down tools during the industrial action would not be entitled to salaries for the period of the strike. This position underscores government's determination to curb what it describes incessant disruption in the nation's university system. We'll bring you details of that report in our subsequent bulletin, and that's it on the Sunshine Report. Good afternoon.